My name is Anya and I'm here with Briga.
My official name is Brigitte Deutscher, and Briga was a title that was given to me by a former Yugoslavian band that I used to play with. They gave me the nickname of Briga, and from there I was baptized Briga and I became the artist Briga. It's basically like my secret garden. It's music that I write from the heart and from the soul. I came here to Montreal. I was born in Montreal. I felt like creatively it'd be like the right place to be able to grow, and it has been, so I'm very happy about that. The first step for me was to do my master's at Concordia University. So being affiliated with Concordia University gave me a chance to sort of lay down some roots, to have like a program to be part of for 3 years that just kept me kind of on the straight line. The second thing was meeting this ex-Yugoslavian band, which is called Les Gitans de Sarajevo. In 2016, I was invited to start composing besides Briga, but for film and TV and video games.
If you could tell us more about the Quebec folk scene as well.
So it's absolutely quite wonderful. I mean, there's a trad jams, a vibrant sort of summer festival circuit as well that celebrates Quebecois trad music. And when we talk about folk music, you will always have the ultra purists. It's very important that the purists are there to try to sort of maintain as much authenticity about the folk music as possible. And there is an ecosystem and a community and a dialogue that's really...
The pandemic and how that affects your musical community. Could you speak about that more and how that impacted you and your music and meeting up with people?
Be it dialogue between the purists and the modernists, or dialogue between musicians, or between any person in the community. Much of what we do is about dialoguing and the evolution of a creative movement. So for example, speaking languages, right? Languages change and morph and evolve as generations pass down languages, right? So it's the same thing with music. So during the pandemic, we were all isolated. We were all in our own little places, homes, doing our thing. And I actually started really feeling disconnected from my community.
I wonder if you're able to elaborate more on how nostalgia really has some impact or influence, and how it works in your music.
It comes back to the dialogue I was talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Like languages, music, communities evolve and change and shape shift with time. And the purist within us, or within whomever, wants to sort of capture that moment in time and put it in a glass case in the museum and say, this is Polish, this is that, this is that, this is Canadian. But it's impossible, because time is constantly shaping and shifting things, and because we are mixing with each other and we're talking, and human beings are social beings, right? So it's impossible to put stuff and capture it and put it in a vacuum and leave it there. Although it's also important to sort of see these nuggets within the vacuum and acknowledge that they are parts of us. I'm just actually discovering my Polish identity in the last 5 years, because I had to come around, I had to do full circle. I had to sort of musically explore around the region, like in other neighboring countries. It was a very internal thing. And the moment that I discovered the Polish community here in Montreal, and I started making friends who had similar stories, but they were still different. And then I sort of started coming around to the idea that it's okay to be nostalgic. There's also a part of me that wants to just forget my past and redefine myself. So it's a very interesting paradoxical relationship.
A musician, that age-old question, alive or dead?
Number 1, Ella Fitzgerald. Number 2, Esma Redzepova. 3rd, Shiha Remiti.
Thank you so much for sitting with us and for doing this interview. It was such a pleasure.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much. And well, cheers.
Cheers.